Preparing to go live.
Awesome. We'll call the January 29th Commission meeting to order. Let's stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning, everyone. I will remind everybody to please sign in. There's the sign-in sheet at the back of the room. Also, please state and spell your name if you come to the podium. Is there any public comment this morning? Is there any public comment?
Good morning, commissioners, members of the public. My name is Bill Jarocki, Jarocki. I am the County Administrative Officer and Budget Director. I want to take a moment this morning to talk about the events that occurred yesterday at the Office of Management and Budget level, the federal government, and how it possibly affects local government, other government, county government, and to give you an update on what occurred. On Monday, January 27th, OMB issued a memo, M2513, I'm going to give it to you for the record, that put a freeze on agency grant loan and other financial assistance programs. It's fairly controversial because it was thought that it was halting all transfers of money from the federal government. I tracked this yesterday very closely. It was probably the most significant item in the press secretary's first press conference in the White House yesterday. A lot of questions that were difficult to answer because the memorandum, what the memorandum addresses is the president's policies on how the government should run and his wish that all of the federal programs adhere to those policies, and if the transfer of money through grants or other assistance was going to be contrary to that policy, just put a stop to it and go from there. Last night, after the press conference, OMB put out another Q&A piece that I'll also submit to the record that further clarified that it has little effect on places like Broadwater County. The reason I was concerned as your budget director is that we have a $4 million FAA grant that would have been paused. We had the potential for public health grants to be paused and other things that we just didn't know. So I tracked it. I can report to you this morning that I think we're in the clear. There was a stay to the executive orders and the memo from OMB until Monday, when oral arguments are going to be heard in federal court. Then we'll learn more about it. There's a question as to the legality of appropriated and authorized monies being held back, and so that's all going to be addressed on Monday. But as your budget director, I want you to know that at this point, it doesn't look like there's any effect on Broadwater County.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
I did hear on the news this morning that they said, you know, for over 200 years, presidents have been able to hold back money. That has been something they have been allowed to do. But it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm sure they have a plan, and they want to reappropriate monies a little differently, is my guess. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, okay.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Angie Paulsen, Paulsen. I'm Broadwater County Clerk and Recorder and Election Administrator. Just wanted to give you an update that we do have a contested race for the school election. We received an oath of candidacy for Kristen Sangre and Adam Brakefield. So that election is May 6th, 2025, as I know all of you are tracking. And I just wanted to let you know that there is a contested school race on that ballot. So,
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Has the deadline passed to enter that resignation?
No.
Okay.
We are it's simultaneously two elections going on, the special purpose district calendar and the school calendar, and I don't have those dates memorized, but
Okay.
I will get that to you
Okay.
later today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, is there any other public comment on items not on the agenda? No? Okay. First item on our agenda today is the airport hangar lease. We are going to go ahead and table that, and that will be on an upcoming agenda.
It will be on February 5th.
February 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. The second item on the agenda is discussion decision, Mako Property and Casualty Trust, 2025 to 2026 PCT renewal scheduled property. This was discussed at a previous meeting. I believe we have all kind of re-reviewed everything. We had a couple things, little events taken off that are no longer held on county property. And I think we are good to move forward with this. Does anybody have any comments or thoughts on this one?
Madam Chair, it's been updated for everything that I had requested, so I think
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
good to go.
Everything looks
Okay.
fine to me.
All right, is there a motion?
I would move to approve the Mako property and casual tax and PCT renewal.
I will second that motion.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to renew the Mako Property and Casualty Trust 2025 to 2026 PCT renewal for scheduled property. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Madam Chair, if I should have said this earlier.
Yes.
At some point this spring, Mako will come here and go through at a commission meeting.
Yes.
Update in great detail.
Okay.
It's usually March or April.
Okay. All right, and I believe the signature page on this is a little wonky, so I'm going to wait to sign this until we're done.
I think you just need to sign the front page, but we can do it later.
Just me, but yeah.
So,
Okay. Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is discussion decision, family medical clinic letter and 2024 invoice. Just for some background on this, Doc Campbell has been the county medical officer for quite a long time. We pay him every year. There is not a contract. And his rate went up this year from $5,000 for services in 2023 to $6,000 services in 2024. This is an important role that he performs, and unfortunately, our public health director is here, and she can enlighten us with some more information.
Hello, Ruby Taylor, Taylor, Director of Public Health. Excuse me, as I try not to die up here. So Doc is my medical director. That means he signs my standing orders, and without those standing orders being signed, I would not be able to do any vaccinations or any services within the public health office. So it's a really important thing. It essentially has us working under his orders, and if something super crazy were to happen, Doc would be the one who like malpractice insurance is through and all that sort of stuff, as far as I am understanding how that role works in most public health departments and in ours. But he comes in, visits with me, checks in, makes sure that I don't need anything. Doc and I get along great, so it works out just fine. The one thing that we're kind of working through is succession planning in general, because there's no succession plan in place for myself or Doc if something were to happen. And so I just want to make sure that that is clearly laid out in our COOP plan and all of that sort of stuff, because it would really stink for us both to disappear and the department not to be able to run, especially Doc, because in Montana, if a physician passes away specifically, you can no longer use their orders. So all of our orders would be null and void. I'd need to find someone to emergently sign them. I've talked to state about it. The state medical director would probably sign them for us in short term, but I would prefer not to scramble, and I'd like to have a plan there. So that's just something I'm looking into in general. But he does a great service. He's great to deal with. And I think his time is well worth the $6,000 they're asking for.
Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Did anyone have any questions or comments about this bill for the Family Medical Clinic?
I don't.
I don't either.
Okay. I know Ruby has come in and talked to the Board of Health about this, as the Board of Health has to work closely with the medical director and public health. So it is being worked on. We're looking into different options. All right. Is there a motion?
I'd move to approve the Family Medical Clinic letter for Dr. Campbell for the 2024 invoice.
I will second that.
Sorry,
you-
in the amount of $6,000.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just
Perfect. All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the Family Medical Clinic invoice for $6,000. I just hit my chair. Sorry. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none? All those approve, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Madam Chair, since we have our Public Works Director here.
Yes.
I know he's giving me a dirty, whatever. Could he give us an update on the building, Doc Campbell's old building? That's what we call it. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to talk to you this morning.
That would be great.
Good morning, Commissioners. TJ
Morning.
Gravely, Public Works Director, Graveley. I would be happy to give you guys an update. Tentatively, we scheduled to have the building demolished this week, hauled to Lewis and Clark County, but in lieu of staffing shortage, it will not happen this week. I will be fully staffed February 10th as of right now. I have been on the phone with Gruber, who has the contract, and tentatively we will do it the week of the 10th of February and get rid of the building. They actually are down a machine right now, and it gives them a chance to work on it and get it back up and running.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, I was going to say you could
I was
just
just
stay
helping
right
out.
here. You could. All right. Next item on the agenda is discussion decision. TJ Gravely, Public Works Director. We'll talk about the interlocal agreement for waste disposal of Broadwater County solid waste at Lewis and Clark County landfill.
Good morning once again,
Good morning.
Commissioners. TJ Gravely, Graveley. In front of you today is 4 copies of the interlocal agreement that Deputy County Attorney Minor, myself, the Lewis and Clark County's Public Works Director, and their legal team worked on to put this document together. It's a 3.5-year contract to take our solid waste to Lewis and Clark County transfers or landfill. The decision was made to accept Lewis and Clark's bid of $24 for Class 2 garbage and $21 for Class 4. It is a little bit farther, but once you break it down versus the other bid that was in, there was a large discrepancy in savings for us. Even though it is a little bit farther, we're just shy of $100,000 versus the life of the contract. With that being said, I believe in that contract it says we can renew every year but not past 5 years without a new contract. When we all sat down and looked at it, Kay put a lot of work into this, and I think she did a great job getting us to where we're at right now so we can get this signed and shipped off to Helena hopefully today after you guys sign, or after the chairman signs and our clerk and recorder signs. Do you guys have any questions for me on the contract at all?
I'm excited. I mean, we've been working on this for quite a while. I think it'll be, I guess, significant cost savings for us at this time.
$100,000 is $100,000. As you
Yeah.
guys know, solid waste has been a sore subject in this county for a long time. We have cut down to just as much as we possibly can to operate with the best service at the cheapest cost. And this was a big factor in looking at it. Because I don't have anywhere else I can really cut. We're running older equipment, or we have made some improvements, don't get me wrong. We have made some great improvements with your guys' help, but we still have a long ways to go. So we're not out of the woodwork yet. And with the help of our CAO and our boards, I think we're headed in the right direction, and this was one of the first steps to get there.
TJ, I know we mentioned this previously, but Lewis and Clark does this a little differently than our previous vendor. I want to say vendor. I don't know if that's the right word. Who we had a contract with. They look at their rates a little bit differently.
So yeah, the more garbage Lewis and Clark County takes in, it affects their whole rate. So this rate will be looked at annually. So this could go up and it could go down. Historically, it has gone down. Historically, it is still below what we were paying last year, and definitely below what their bid come in at. There's more benefits than just the solid waste with this. In an interlocal agreement, it has helped us to where we were one of the first ones to be able to purchase their snowplow equipment or snowplows that they have on there. Without that, we'd be looking at another $280,000 for a snowplow. If we were to purchase new at the road department. Yeah, there's some out there, but most of the snowplows that are out there now that you see that are for sale are in Pennsylvania.
Right.
That's a long ways to drive a truck that goes 50 mile an hour back home or to transport. The benefits are so much better with this interlocal agreement. It will help not just solid waste, like I said, it will help the whole county.
Thank you. Thank you for all your work on it.
Yeah.
It's been I'm glad we're moving forward. So I didn't have any other questions. Does anybody else?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks to Kay for getting the ball rolling basically
Yeah,
and
thank you.
staying on top of it.
Thank you. These contracts take a lot of time and review, and Kay gets to look at them all. Thank you very much. All right. Is there a motion?
I would move to approve the interlocal agreement for waste disposal, Broadwater County solid waste at Lewis and Clark County landfill through June 30th, 2028.
I second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement for waste disposal of Broadwater County solid waste at Lewis and Clark County landfill until June 30th, 2028. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Right. We have 4 copies. We can sign those after as well. Do we want to sign them now or after? You okay if we sign them after? Or do you want us to sign these now? Wait.
Sorry.
Is there a spot on there for Angie to put a seal on there or just her signature? I'm fine either way. I will run them in today because I
Yes.
believe this will be on their
Yes,
commission
there is.
meetings this next week.
There is a spot for Angie.
Okay.
It's just me and
May I
yes.
comment?
Yeah.
Broadwater County Clerk and Recorder, Angie Paulson. I will need to also file those with the Secretary of State's office, so once I sign them, I'll
they'll have to sign, Lewis and Clark
Yeah,
has to
Lewis
sign
and
this.
Clark
Needs
still
to
needs to
sign
sign.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll need them back after Lewis
Yeah.
and Clark signs, and
Yeah.
then I'll send them to the Secretary of State's office. Thank you
Okay.
for that.
So I'm gonna just, I'll wait till after and sign them all. Okay. Got lots to sign. Okay. All right. Good time. Next on the agenda is discussion, and we are going to continue this discussion. So this is the second time we've talked about it. Our Community Development and Planning Director is unable to be here today, but we will be discussing this resolution updating the Broadwater County subdivision fees. We did read the resolution last week. Do we need to read it again? Anyone?
I don't.
Would you like me to read it
We're not
again?
voting today.
No. Okay. This is online for anyone to look at, and we are hoping to get comment on it. We want to hear from people on this, especially those developing, surveying, everything. One piece I did have a suggestion in the fee list where it talks about the county contracted hydrologic analysis review fee. It says $4,000 minimum. And the description under it, I thought it was a little wordy. So I suggest saying this fee is project dependent and may exceed $4,000. Maybe a wording change.
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
This fee is project dependent and may exceed $4,000.
Okay. I had a couple of comments on it, also under the amended application fees.
Okay.
So, looks like that I have four different highlighted. I don't know if there's more. I don't see them. But where it says prior to governing body decision, following governing body decision, it's a little bit confusing because we make two decisions. We have to approve preliminary plat and then we have to approve final plat. So I think if we just got rid of the governing body decision portion and added prior to preliminary plat approval, prior to final plat approval, or pick the one that fits.
Okay, so we could just say prior to preliminary plat approval.
Right.
For amended applications. Okay.
That way there's no ambiguity of which decision are they referring to.
Okay.
And then on the third one down, it says amendment to conditions of preliminary plat. I think we need to add like a request for amendment to conditions of preliminary plat. That way it doesn't look like they only have to pay it if a preliminary plat is amended.
So add request before amendment?
Correct.
Okay.
Because the work on the staff is the same regardless, so that's.
Okay. Good, okay.
Those are my big suggestions.
And I talked to Director Brown yesterday for quite a while about these, and she told me about these and everything else I had questions about. We discussed, and with these edits, I think next week
Okay.
it looks good.
And everything else that's highlighted is okay? The phasing, under phasing fees, so page 3?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going back through my list. I'm satisfied as well. No, something might come up next
Yeah.
week before we approve this,
Okay.
but
Right. I just wrote these edits in. Do we want to leave what's on the website, or do we want to update with the edits we're looking at? But since we haven't decided, we could just leave them here.
I think
a
the
draft.
edits need to be on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we,
Okay.
we're, I mean,
Get
so
the
we can
most
get the
current.
latest, greatest
Yep.
edits to the
Okay.
public.
Yep.
That's been our practice.
Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect.
Can Can we ask for public comment on it?
Oh, yeah. I'm just moving right along. So,
I don't know if there will be any.
we
but-
want to hear public comment. Sorry, thank you. Any public comment on this would be welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to forget about you.
Oh, no problem. Bernadette Swenson, Swenson. My only comment was on the hydrological fee. Is that for minors and majors? Because usually a first minor doesn't have an EA. I didn't know if a line like if a hydrological study is required should go there. For instance, Paul Finlayson's amended Lot 44 that came through a month or so ago, I think in December. They weren't creating anything, so they weren't required to start over with an EA. And according to the fees, it looks like he would have had to pay that even though he didn't have to have a hydrological study. So I don't know if a line in there that if a hydrological analysis is required,
Or just if applicable.
if applicable.
Yeah, okay.
But that at least gives some leeway if, those strange projects that come forward that don't need a hydrological analysis or a first minor that doesn't have to have an EA. I don't know if the county's going to require it with those also. I'm not sure where their plan is there, but maybe just an if applicable or if required. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
I think that's a great suggestion.
Yep.
Suggested edit.
Yes, perfect. Is there any other public comment? Okay. All right, we will move on. Next on the agenda is the appeal of the December 11th, 2024 denial of Heineman boundary relocation, and that will be tabled for today and done at a future meeting. We don't know when that will be yet, though. Okay, next on the agenda is discussion decision. Nicole Brown is not here today, so we will be doing this one without her. The Armstrong Family Transfer Exemption Request, Section 9, Township 8 North and Range 3 East.
Madam Chair, I'm going to be recusing myself for the next two agenda
Okay.
items.
Okay.
I'm here to speak on behalf of this. I'm Cam Armstrong. And excuse me, I've never done this before. Do I come up here to?
We'll discuss it first, and then we'll call you up. Yeah, you're all right. Because you weren't here, would you mind signing in also at the back of the room? We have a sign-in sheet. Nope, you're fine. And then when you do come up, just state your name and spell it, please, for the record. Thank you. Okay. I will go ahead and read through the staff report if that will work for you, Commissioner Randolph. And for the public, you think?
Yeah, maybe some highlights, maybe.
Okay, because I believe Director Brown would read
Yeah.
the whole staff report, so I will read it into record, and then maybe you get to do the next one.
Or not.
Tag team. Okay, this is, applicant for this is Paul Armstrong. The executive summary. The subject property is 159.49 acres in size with access from Lost Trail, which is not a county road. The parcel is currently owned by Paul Armstrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt myself. We should call him. We should call Paul. I completely forgot about that. We're just kind of out of
got the
sorts
number?
today. Yes, I have the number. Let's do that. Sorry, everyone. Did I have to hit anything after I got a number? Okay.
But he said there is a delay.
Oh, okay.
speaking.
Hi, good morning, Paul. This is Commissioner Rick Meyer. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am great, thank you. I believe your son Cameron is here, and we have just started moving into your family transfer request, and I was going to go ahead and read the staff report first to kind of kick things off.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bear with us here. It'll take a second.
Take your time.
Thanks. The subject property is 159.49 acres in size with access from Lost Trail, which is not a county road. The parcel is currently owned by Paul Armstrong, whom is requesting to utilize the family transfer exemption to gift a 76.01 acre parcel identified as amended Tract 9F to his son Cameron Armstrong. Montana Code Annotated MCA 76-3-2071B provides for division outside of a platted subdivision for the purpose of a single gift or sale in each county to each member of the landowner's immediate family. Since these two parcels would become greater than 20 acres in size, neither parcel is subject to DEQ review and approval. Should any additional on-site wastewater treatment systems be constructed on either parcel, the owners will be required to seek the approval from the Broadwater County Environmental Health Office for location and permit. The request, the owner of the parcel is requesting approval of the use of the family transfer exemption. The property is located off Lost Trail in Section 9, Township 8 North, Range 3 East, PMM, I'm not sure what that means, in Broadwater County, Montana. There is one existing home site on the parcel. Adjacent land uses to the north is vacant, east is agricultural, south state of Montana lands, and west forested with one structure. Project uses. Wastewater. Both parcels will be subject to review and or approval from the Broadwater County Environmental Health Office for any additional on-site wastewater treatment systems. The existing home site has an approval on-site wastewater treatment system. Access. The property is located south of Lost Trail. Both parcels have direct access to Lost Trail, which is not a county road. There is a 60-foot wide easement for Lost Trail across the northern boundary of the proposed amended Tract 9. Water. There is an existing exempt well for the home site. The provision of water for any future development will be subject to review and approval by the Department of Natural Resources and Conservation, utilizing the exempt well requirements for residential structure. Public health and safety. The proposed division has the potential to have adverse impacts on public health and safety as follows. 1. Since there is no review by the towns and schools, there is no consideration for a school bus turnaround, which could pose a safety hazard for any future students. 2. Because of the distance to the nearest emergency service facilities, this could prove hazardous to human life and safety. Conclusion. Pursuant to 76-3-207 1B MCA, which states, under Title 76, Chapter 2, unless the method of disposition is adopted for the purpose of evading this chapter, B, divisions made outside of the platted subdivisions for the purpose of a single gift or sale in each county to each member of the landowner's immediate family. Broadwater County Subdivision Regulations 9CI B-3 identifies an immediate family member as a spouse, child by blood or adoption, and parent of the grantor. There is a mortgage tract recorded on this parcel, original Tract 9. The mortgage tract, Tract M, is not being affected by this family transfer exemption request since Tract M is 10.03 acres, and the property being retained by Paul Armstrong is 83.48 acres surrounding Tract M. However, the applicant has provided a letter of partial deed reconveyance to allow for the transfer of the property, even though it is unaffected by the mortgage. Lastly, the property is encumbered by the 60-foot roadway easement and a pond that will be split by the proposed property line between the amended Tract 9 and Tract 9F. That concludes the staff report. In going through this, I thought it was pretty clear-cut. I know Megan, our sanitarian, didn't have any issues. And there was no issues, again, with the mortgage tract. Commissioner Randolph, did you have any questions at all on this one?
No, I was also going to mention the sanitarian. She's good with it. She always has a great eye for detail. But I did not have any questions at all.
Okay. It was very clean, and thank you for all the information. Cameron, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I just wanted to express my gratitude for the audience.
Thank you, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My name's Cameron Armstrong, CAMERONARMST. R-O-N-G. I'm an active duty soldier. I've been away for about a decade, and this is an exciting opportunity for me to come home and lay roots down. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
I don't.
It seemed really very clear cut.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's been a long time coming. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other comments?
I don't.
Thanks, Paul.
Forgot about you.
You're good to go. Nothing else you want to add?
No, there's nothing I want to add.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Is there a motion?
I would move to approve the Armstrong Family Transfer Exemption request.
I will second that. There's been a motion and a second to approve the Armstrong Family Transfer Exemption request. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you too. Bye, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Cameron, thank
Yep, see ya.
See ya. Okay. Right. Next on the list is a discussion decision for the Green Family Transfer Exemption Request, Section 30, Township 3 North, Range 1 East. Again, Director Brown is not here, so we have to read the staff report into the record. Commissioner Randolph, do you want to do that?
I will. Can you call Mr. Green first?
Thank you for reminding me.
welcome.
I even have it at the top.
And I will try to read this as long as my voice hangs out.
Okay. I can do it if you really don't want to. It's fine.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Is this Gary?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Gary. This is Commissioner Rickmeyer, and you are live at the commission meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. We were just about to start the discussion on your family transfer request.
Great.
Okay. Commissioner Randolph is going to read the staff report into the record. Our Director of Planning and Development is not here today, so bear with us while we go through it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Staff report, family transfer, Green Family. Executive summary. The subject property is 81.5 acres in size with access from Legacy Drive, which is not a county road. The parcel is currently owned by Gary and Karen Green, whom are requesting to utilize the family transfer exemption to gift a 7.99 acre parcel identified as Tract A to their son, Wesley Green. Family transfer statutes. Montana Code Annotated 763-207-1B provides for division outside of platted subdivision for purpose of a single gift or sale in each county to each member of the landowner's immediate family. Since Tract A will be less than 20 acres in size, it is subject to DEQ review and approval, which was received on January 7th, 2025. Should any additional on-site wastewater treatment systems be constructed on Tract B, the owners will be required to seek approval from the Broadwater County Environmental Health Office for the location and permit since the parcel is greater than 20 acres. The owner of the parcel is requesting approval of the use of family transfer exemption. The property is located off Legacy Drive in Section 30, Township 3N, Range 1E, and again, sorry, PM, I don't know what that means, Broadwater County, Montana. Existing development and uses. There are no home sites on the parcel. adjacent land uses to the north agricultural, east agricultural, south agricultural, west agricultural. Wastewater. DEQ approval for Track 1 has been received and will be recorded with the COS upon approval. Track B will be subject to review and/or approval from Broadwater County Environmental Health Office for any additional on-site wastewater treatments. Access. The property is located off Legacy Drive. The easement is recorded as an access easement driveway on document number 159254. This driveway easement travels through the northwest corner of Tract A. Tract B has access to Legacy Drive via a 30-foot wide private access easement along the western boundary of Tract A. Water. There is an existing well on Tract B. The provision of water for any future development will be subject to review and approval by the Department of Natural Resources and Conservation, utilizing the exempt well requirements for any residential structures. Public health and safety. The proposed division has the potential to have adverse impacts on public health and safety as follows. 1, since there is no review by the Three Forks School, there is no consideration for a school bus turnaround, which could pose a safety hazard for any future students. 2, because of the distance to the nearest emergency service facilities, this could prove hazardous to health and safety. Commissioner Rickmeyer, would you take over?
Yes. I don't know if we need to reread the MCA. It was previously read. It is 763-2071B. There is a note that says Tract A is encumbered by a 30-foot driveway easement, Legacy Drive, and the 30-foot wide private access easement. Tract B is encumbered by a 20-foot waterline easement from Tract A to the well on Tract B. And that concludes the staff report. I guess I know there's the private access easement, so Tract B can use that access to Legacy Drive. Deputy County Attorney Minor, is that correct?
That's my understanding. Unfortunately, the computer will not work, so I cannot look at my awesome maps. But I didn't recall having any legal issues or concerns over the access.
Okay.
So, and Kaylin Minor, Deputy County Attorney. Sorry, I did not introduce myself, ma'am.
All right. Other than that, I didn't have any questions.
I didn't either. Again, I appreciate the
Yeah.
complete survey and the paperwork
It was good.
in great detail, so thank you.
Mr. Green, did you have anything you would like to contribute?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. This is for my son. And he's a quadriplegic, and he's married, and they have a little baby, and we just wanted him close.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's very clean and straightforward, in my opinion. I didn't have any other issues. Deputy County Attorney Minor, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, ma'am, Chairwoman Rickmeyer. And the 30-foot wide easement is sufficient for that access to Tract B pursuant to our regulations. Seeing the map jogged what I remember looking up days ago. So thank you so much for that.
All right. Is there anything else?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I would move to approve the Green Family Transfer Exemption request.
I will second that. There has been a motion and a second to approve the Green Family Transfer Exemption request, Section 30, Township 3 North, Range 1 East. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Green.
Thank you. My son and his wife will be very excited.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, Commissioner Swenson.
Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is discussion decision. Sheriff Nick Rouser, fiscal year 26-27 Missouri River Drug Task Force, MOU.
Good morning. Broadwater County Sheriff Nick Rouser, R-A-U-S-E-R. So yeah, this is just an MOU. Every year we sign it. It's for the Drug Task Force. We are members of them. Basically just helps there's a whole bunch, you got the whole list of other agencies that are in it, but it just, if we have something, we do call them. They come down and work drug cases in Broadwater County. And, you know, our cases a lot of times tie into things going on in Helena, Bozeman, Butte. So they are a great agency. I just printed off the signature page because there was, Deputy Attorney Minor, she did look it over. There was a couple changes she suggested. I did not change them because there's so many agencies that this is sent to, and I didn't want to throw some kink in with it where, you know, we had to change something. So I just left it the way they sent it because it goes to so many different agencies. But it's the same thing we sign every year. So
Looks like the city of Helena, city of East Helena, who else? Park County, Marr County.
Mar, Park, Gallatin, Bozeman, Madison, City of Livingston, City of Belgrade,
MSU.
MSU.
Yeah, it's
That one caught me
considerable.
off.
So they, like I said, it's a great organization. They do a lot of good work. Takes years sometimes to do these investigations, and we do utilize them at times. So
When you utilize them, what do you do? I'm curious.
So I don't want to get too deep into the
some-
weeds
just
with,
a
but so basically if we end up having a case where we find drugs, we will call them and they will work that case to try to find the next person and the next person and the next person. We one of the bigger ones I think we had, it's been a while ago. I mean, that thing led, I think, all the way back to Connecticut. Just so you know. I mean, it was started with a resident in Broadwater County and a traffic stop, and then it just kind of the ball kept rolling, and then I think it went all the way back to Connecticut. So we have other cases that end up in Washington where they end up, so that's their whole purpose, trying to get the people at the top to stop the supply.
All right. Thank you. Were there any questions or comments on this?
I just had one question, and I think you kind of clarified it. They can also call you for support. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can call us. We do communicate. We have quarterly meetings. We just had one. I think our one in October we actually hosted here. But yeah, we have quarterly meetings in different places. The last one I did not attend because I had a meeting about a mill levy that day, so we got in on Zoom. But yeah, they call us, we talk to them. It works both ways. So.
Okay. Thank you. If there's no other comments, is there a motion?
I would move to approve the Missouri River Drug Task Force MOU for fiscal years 2026 and 2020 or through 2027.
I will second that motion.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the Missouri River Drug Task Force MOU for fiscal year 26 to 27. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
I have
Thank
just
you.
the signature page.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to sign that now, later, whatever you
sign it
want.
right now. That's
So I think
fine.
it's got a spot for all three of you, me, and county attorney.
Yeah. Oh, I got one.
You guys need a copy?
If we had a copy, it's helpful.
I can send it to them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. Yep.
I almost wrote 24, you saw it.
I'll just stay here.
Just stay there. Yep. All right. Okay, next up, you're in the hot seat again. Sheriff Nick Rouser, here to discuss the Sheriff Mill Levy resolution. We are discussing this today. I know we have to have some language decided on by Friday, so we can get it, because we will be finalizing this and talking about it next week's agenda on the 5th. But we'll have language posted online for people to look at.
Okay. So you just want me to talk about what we're doing with the mill levy? Is that what?
Yep, I think,
okay.
So we have two resolutions.
Yeah,
We
so,
have two resolutions, and I have them both. I believe you have a copy. Kay sent them to you.
I got one of the two.
Okay.
I
so
think
you have
unless I didn't
yours.
scroll down, because I got them and I was in the middle of a bunch of stuff, but
Okay.
I need to look at them today.
So why don't you read your resolution?
I did not bring it because I did not think we were making a decision on that today.
Okay, we were just going to talk about it. Commissioners, how do you guys feel about that? Do you want
I thought I was just talking about the mill levy, what we were doing, and then that we were working on a resolution and what it would, and then next week we would discuss what was actually in it.
Deputy County Attorney.
All on my computer that will not work.
Okay.
They're all on the
I-
Y drive. If
I have it all.
Access the Y drive.
I have it all right here.
Okay.
It's fine. I've got copies. I think you guys have copies. Do we want to read the resolution, or I know you have some changes you wanted to make.
Yeah, so I don't know if reading that resolution, because I think we still need to, I have another meeting tomorrow down in Three Forks. I think that after that, we've already had 2 meetings after that one, and then hopefully Friday morning I will be able to give you guys a final answer on what we're doing. So I don't know if it makes sense to read that, since
Okay.
it probably is going to change,
Okay.
so.
Okay. What would you like to discuss regarding what you're thinking?
So, when we originally started it, we've been trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Keep it the same, lower it, 5 years, permanent. What does the public really want to see? I have talked to quite a few people on the phone. I've made a couple Facebook Lives. I had a meeting last Wednesday in Winston. I had one last night here. Overall, I'm seeing the same, for the most part, the same common theme. People do not want us to lower it, and they want to see us grow as the county grows. Well, when I think about that, I cannot continue to grow on a 5-year mill levy that expires, because I can't hire somebody knowing that in 5 years this mill levy might not be there. And how do you bring somebody in knowing that in 5 years they may not be here? I am trying my best to create a culture in this office to where we have people that want to be here. They want to be part of the community. They want to be here for 20 years to collect their, to retire from working here. It has not been the case, unfortunately, over the last however many years. I know Under Sheriff Harris just retired. He had seen close to 200 employees come and go in 20 years. That's insane. The last couple years, it's been getting a lot better. Our retention, wages, all that's been better. So obviously I want to maintain that. We have grown. I do think we're going to need to continue to grow. As you guys know, there are subdivisions that they're kind of on hold right now, but there's a lot of growth going on the south end. There's growth potentially going to go on right here in the city of Townsend. And then you have growth that is still happening on the north end. So, we have to be able to grow with the growth, because with growth brings more crime. It's been a common thing we've been seeing over the last couple of years. Last year we ended with 609 cases. You go to some agencies, that's not that big, but for 10 deputies, one of them in the school and one of them be only working sex crimes as a detective, that is quite a few cases. And then the calls for service, I don't know if you want me to talk about our weekend the other day.
No, you don't
Okay.
need to go.
I talked about it
will-
at the meeting.
Yes.
I'll talk about it tomorrow. But our guys are at times, very, very busy around here. Crime's continuing to grow. And in order to keep up with the crime, I have to continue to grow with deputies. Obviously, there's a line there. I don't want too many deputies, but, I've got to have enough to be able to take care of the calls for service that are coming into the office.
Sheriff Rouser, I've heard you talk about, well, first off, how many deputies you should have per 1,000 people, but also just the importance, I guess, of having enough deputies to cover, how much time it takes to get a deputy trained, and how many people can really be on shift and whatnot.
So, Broadwater County, it's not the biggest county in Montana, but it's not the smallest, but just being deputies, they're not just in a city. We cover every square inch of Broadwater County. And, we currently have pretty much 11 positions. One of them is not fulfilled yet. We haven't even filled. It's a new position in the budget. We just have not fulfilled it because I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with this mill levy. So we essentially have 10 deputies right now. We have one SRO. He spends his days in the school protecting kids. And during the summer, he comes out and helps because the summers get busy around here with the lake and everything else going on. I have one detective. She spends 40 hours a week working sex crimes. We get 1 to 2 of those a month. She will help out with other things, but she's also our evidence tech, so she runs our entire evidence room. She's a deputy coroner, so she takes coroner calls. And then we have pretty much right now 8 deputies. We run shifts, 10-hour shifts, 4-10. So you get Sunday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Saturday. You divide that by 8, 2 on day shift each end of the week, 2 on night shift. We currently have 1 out on light duty from an accident that happened a year ago, and then we have 1 that just had a knee replacement. So we're now down to 6 deputies, 2 on night shifts and 1 on day shift. That usually means that if something bad happens, myself or our undersheriff are going to have to go out and help, and we're perfectly fine doing that. We were out the other night till 2 in the morning. But it gets hard to do our meetings and our, keeping the office running as far as paying bills, making sure equipment's up and running, phone calls, and, just everything else in the day-to-day life of the office. So, you get a call, if you're on the backside of Canyon Ferry Lake or even up by LF Bomb, and you get a call down in Three Forks, you're looking, depending on where you're at, a half hour to 45 minutes. And that's running code, so driving fast, trying to get down their lights and sirens. In an emergency situation, that is not real sufficient. There is stats out there that say you need one deputy or one cop per 1,000 people. I had a resident the other day that brought something into perspective. That yes, that may work in a city where everyone's close, but when you have 2 guys, let's say on a domestic down in Three Forks, and something happens either in Townsend, backside of Canyon Ferry Lake, LF Bomb, the silos, whatever, what do we do? Well, right now we're calling people out. It's overtime, and it's just kind of what we have to do. This last weekend on just Friday night, we had so much going on. We had six of us out there, and that included me and the undersheriff, and then we were trying to take care of about 2 to 3 different things going on all at once. And then, of course, one of them was starting to spiral into a very, very, very large incident, and so I was starting to prepare, so people can go home and get rest. I'm going to have to call in these people to come in and help cover. Thank God the incident we got it taken care of, and everyone was safe, but it could have went into a multi-day incident with SWAT from Lewis and Clark County, Gallatin County, wherever. They were gearing up, ready to come. So yeah, it's, our population's doubled in 20 years, 25 years, whatever, but most of that growth has been from 2020 to 23. We don't have 24 stats from census, so we've got about 8,000 residents in 23. that are living in Broadwater County. There's obviously more because there are some people that moved here last year. So we are just trying to keep up with everything going on and make sure that everyone's safe. That's the biggest thing, is being able to make sure that the residents are safe, they feel safe, and that if they need us, we're there to help them.
Okay. Since we won't go over we have two resolutions. One with the county is supporting this. The county is supporting the sheriff's office. We're going to come in with our resolution. You will decide on the values, the mill values for your resolution. I know you've had quite a lot of public feedback supporting not lowering those, but however you can lower those, and I think that's part of your plan, correct? If
Yes.
needed.
So in the ballot language, it says up to, 39.93 mils. That's the one we're working with right now. That means you can mill anywhere from 0 to 39.93. We've always milled the 39.93 because with the growth, we've been trying to just keep up with it. Trying to hire new deputies, you get COLAs, your cost of living wages that go up. We got to find ways to pay for that. Inflation, we're not immune from that. So the last 5 years, that's what we've been just trying to keep up. We're at a pretty good spot right now. So I would like to, I'm leaning towards right now potentially putting on the ballot the 39.93. That's what people are already paying. They've already been paying it for 5 years. But next year, or this year, I guess, when we get into after it passes, I can lower it down to probably about 31.95, roughly 32 mils. And my thought of that is if the continues to grow, and let's just say we get another 1,000 residents and I need another deputy, I can hire that person because as we know, it takes time for the Department of Revenue to get people's homes and everything on the tax rolls, because it took a long time for them to get caught up, and I don't even think they are caught up with everything that's been going on in the state. So I would be able to maybe mill a little bit more, to make sure we can get that deputy, and then hopefully as the mill values increase, we can lower it back down. You don't know what's going to happen. A couple years ago, the mill values took a very large jump. You're about $7,000 a mill. That was how I was able to get a school resource officer and a deputy down south. That south end position, if you guys know, I would recommend anybody in the public, if they are wondering what the south end of Broadwater County looks like, to drive down there, and to drive down, I would say, 3 roads: Wheatland, Price Road, Old Town Road, and even back by like Coulter's Run and KOA Road. Just take a look at the houses that are going in down there, and I have an obligation to make sure those people that are moving here are safe.
So I had a question regarding this, and it's something I just thought of. As you do this and you decide year to year, because if you do an up to amount, right, you can always take less. And that's something in our budgeting process. We have quarterly budgeting meetings. We're looking at where everybody's standing. We're keeping track of that, so we know where things are at. We'll know ahead of time what you need to mill and the amount you need to mill. That's one check and balance for that process. Is there anything else you're going to be doing?
Yeah, so I had this question come up last night. Obviously, the county budget process is public. You guys are involved, the finance officers involved. So everyone, they're recorded. Anybody can come. They're to the public. So I recommend people to get involved. Also, like I told people last night, I get elected every 4 years. So if people find out I'm doing something they don't like, that's what the election's for. It's how it works. It's how the government's set up and how this country's set up. I also had a resident talk to me last night, and I think it was a great idea. When we originally got this voted in, we had a board of citizens. I can't think of what their actual title was, but they helped with the budget process. And I am more than likely, when this passes, I will try to get another board put together. And that way I can sit down with them every year. We can look at the budget, and they can help make that decision on if we need to mill more or less, or where we need to be. That way there is that a group of citizens that can help be that voice. Because, I mean, not everyone can make meetings and get involved. So that's kind of my ideas right now. We'd probably sit down once or twice around the budget season and just say, hey, here's what the budget looks like. You know, if I'm thinking about milling this much, tell me what you guys think. You know, and if they decide, if they kind of help put different things into perspective, they have a different view on things sometimes, which is nice.
I think that's a great idea.
So-
I'm glad to hear you say that. I think
Yeah.
that's an excellent idea. Commissioners, any other questions?
I don't think so. I mean, the meetings have been very positive so far. I'm anxious to see how tomorrow's goes and go from there.
Which is at Headwaters at 6 p.m.,
Yes.
correct?
Yep, Headwaters auction or livestock auction. I can't remember the full name of it, but it's down south by Three Forks, 6 p.m. Once again, it'll be, if people can't make it, we've been live streaming them to the county's YouTube page so people can watch them live. They can go back and rewatch them. You know, I've been trying to get on Facebook once in a while to just talk to people about what we do and why we do it. And I think it's just important to make sure we're transparent and people feel that they can comment and talk to us and that we're not unreachable. So
I appreciate the stats you put in the paper to update people. I think if people have questions, they should reach out to you specifically, especially just with the growth, with the increased crime. I mean, I don't think that's something that's going to go away, unfortunately. Yeah.
Nope, I was just going to emphasize that the meetings are recorded and then stored. So even if you can't watch them live, you can go back. You can go back and watch the one in Winston last week and the one last night in Tilton. So, but please, if any of the public can attend, it's about an hour. Nick does a great job. Sheriff Rouser does a great job of keeping it short and plenty of time for questions.
yeah, and we do have a survey out. It is on our Facebook. I need to update the QR code because technology. But I will hopefully after tomorrow be able to sit down and get some of that stuff done. So if anybody is listening or watches this, take this survey. It's 5 questions. It literally takes like 30 seconds. So, but yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is trying to decide how much in 5 years or, 10 years permanent or whatever it's going to be. But, it's knowing in the back of your head that every 5 years you're going to have to go through this again, and you could potentially, if the culture in Broadwater County ever shifts, I understand right now we are supported by law enforcement, or the public supports law enforcement. I talk to people every day, and it's, I'm very thankful to be here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But, with the growth, you never know what could shift over the years. And I've always been told, and I believe, that you try to leave a place better than you found it. And so when I look at like my career, I'm on the downhill slide of things. I, don't know how much longer I'll be here. I do plan on another term, so we've got another 6 years at least, but you never know. I got kids in school, but when I do leave, I want to make sure that whoever takes over, things are just are smoother, and they don't got to worry about some of the things that I'm worrying about and stressing about lately. So
Okay. So just to clarify for everyone, the resolution that is currently posted, we are going to do 2 separate resolutions just because you are deciding on the amount of time you want to run this levy. And there will be updated, we'll have that language on Friday. We will update it on the website. And then we will be discussing and deciding that on the next meeting on Friday, or excuse me, Wednesday.
yep, I'm hoping, just because we're down to the wire, we're hoping today to have a resolution, but some things have changed after talking to some people. So I want to listen to the south end because they are, very important to listen to everybody you possibly can. And I'm hoping after that meeting I'll be able to talk to a couple people. And then Friday I will probably come in and talk to you guys and let you know what the final plan is. And we'll get everything typed up and hopefully on the website Friday.
Okay,
So.
thank you.
Perfect.
I'm going to read our resolution, and we can have discussion on that as well.
Oh, I want to say one more thing.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you guys have supported us. I just want the public to know that, yes, you guys have supported us the last you know, 6 years-ish, you know, I mean, things have been very good. You know, we don't have to worry about stuff. You guys have committed 34.4% of your floating mills, and it sounds like it's going to continue just to make sure that we can operate. And it's been nice knowing that we're not fighting about everything and that we can just come in, work on the budget, get it done. And it also, I haven't really mentioned a lot, this mill levy in a way does not just help us. It frees up money to help other departments throughout the county. So, you know, if it was, by us getting this, it helps the rest of the county be able to operate and function and serve Broadwater County better. Whether it's the treasurer's office, clerk and recorder's office, you know, it's just that money, you know, we're not in there all reaching hands in and fighting. You know, this just helps us know that we are good to go and that, you know, you guys don't have to worry about our budget as much as you probably years past. So thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Do you need me to stay up here while you read that?
You don't need to.
All right, I'll go sit down while you read that.
Sit down.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Is there any other comments on this resolution? Thoughts? Okay. All right, so the Commissioner's resolution, which is a separate resolution, and we can have some discussion on this. I will go ahead and read through it. Board of Broadwater County Commissioners resolution declaring support for providing funding for law enforcement, dispatch services, and public safety services from the county floating mills. Whereas, since fiscal year 2021, the Commission has demonstrated their commitment to public safety by allocating 34.4% of the annually available property tax floating mills to the Public Safety Department. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Commission will allocate 34.4% of property tax floating mills to the Public Safety Department effective fiscal year 2026 until and including fiscal year 2030. For purposes of calculating the revenue to be received through this commitment, each year's allocation shall be based upon the actual number of floating mills and the corresponding value of each mill as of January 1st the prior year. For example, in fiscal year 26, public safety will receive 34.4% of the floating mills available in fiscal year 25 and at the fiscal year of 25 mill value. That's kind of confusing. But that is because we budget on the previous year's mill values. So again, we'll know in advance what budgets look like as we go through things. Any discussion?
I would just say for the public, if there are any changes to this, because both documents have had edits, it will be on the website.
Yes.
I'm safe to say Friday by 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be by Monday at 10 o'clock, but we will do better so people over the weekend if they want to view it. And please share your comments with us.
Please. Are there any other thoughts or comments on this one? Oh, do you have a comment? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm Angie Paulson, Broadwater County Clerk and Recorder and Elections Administrator. I thought that you would be interested in some statistics from the elections purview. Obviously, registered voters in the county does not mean that that is the population, and I know we don't have the Census Bureau for current numbers, but just to give you guys and the public an idea of increase in residents and registered voters from a year ago so last November to this 2024 November election, we had an increase of 1,400 registered voters, activate or new voters. I would have to break down those numbers specifically to let you know which ones were new residents. But like I said, just because they're new or registered voters does not mean that is the population, but that gives you an idea of the growth in the county. And then precinct 13, you know, we have 5 precincts in Broadwater County. Precinct 1 is Winston, 7, 11, and 12 are in town here, and 13 is Toston area. Precinct 13 is our largest voting precinct. It's got 1,800 registered voters, okay? So, and Winston is not far behind with, I think it's 1,500 in Winston. So that gives you an idea, just the amount of growth and how many registered voters are in that area. Like I said, that does not mean that's the population. So we're getting close to the point in precinct 13, which is Toston, that we're going to probably have to create another voting precinct down there. That's just to give you an idea. So I thought you'd be interested in those numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam Chairman, I was going to say this earlier before Sheriff Rouser spoke. The election will be May 6th. We keep talking about election.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Will that be in conjunction with the school's election? Will be the same ballot?
Yeah, Madam Chair, yes. So the sheriff mill levy will be in conjunction with the special purpose district deadlines. However, it's ran simultaneously with the school election. So yes, those two elections will be held on the same day, which is the May 6th, 2025.
Okay.
And mail in only.
Yes, Madam Chair, Commissioner Randolph, the elections for school, special purpose district, and municipalities are mail-in elections only, and that is also specified on the resolution that you all put together. So it's only the federal primary and general that we have polling locations. And the reason for that is it's a lot cheaper to run an all-mail election rather than polling locations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Okay. Are there any other comments or thoughts? Oh, Mr. Jiraki.
Thank you. Just a quick comment. I really appreciate what Sheriff Rouser said about the community interest in being involved in the budget process. That could happen this year. The public safety budget is about $3.5 million. So the more eyes we get on it, the more people understand it, the better off everybody's going to be. So if you wanted to begin that this year, I'd be happy to provide whatever information I can to move that ahead as fast as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff Rouser. You don't have to stay if you need to go anywhere. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Let's see, we've got our last item on here is discussion decision, county board letters of resignation, letters of interest, and recommendations. And we have stuff for the Noxious Weed Board and the Planning Board. And I was going to start with the Noxious Weed Board. Looks like we have two letters of interest. Commissioner Randolph, are there two positions open? There are. Okay. Yep. Okay. First one is from Nathan Costo. Dear Commissioners, I would once again ask to be on the Broadwater Weed Board for a 3-year term. Since I have been on the Weed Board, I have strived to make the weed program better, and we have. But there is still more to be done. I have been a chair and vice chair voted in by the old board and the new board. I have been in the agricultural field for 20 plus years. The majority for that time has been in the beef sector and the hay industry. With that, the importance of take care of a weed issue is top concern of mine. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Nathan Costo. And do we want to go through all of them or go one at a time?
I think we should approve each one.
Each one, okay. Perfect.
That's my thought.
Yeah, that works. Is there any thoughts or comments on the letter from Nathan Costo?
Nathan's been a great member of the Noxious Weed Board, and actually that weed board has had growth and change and are doing some really exciting things. And they are all do their homework and they come prepared for our meetings. So it's wonderful.
There is a lot going on right now. I think there's a lot going on legislatively with noxious weed stuff too. So, okay, is there a motion?
I move to approve Nathan Costo for a 3-year term to the Noxious Weed Board.
I second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve Nathan Costo to the Broadwater County Noxious Weed Board. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. Second letter is from Wes Munns. I would like to remain on the weed board for another term if you are agreeable with that. Wes Munns.
And again, the exact same thoughts about West Nuns. Everybody on that board is active.
Okay. And I'm assuming the noxious weed board's already approved
Yes,
these and
I should have
recommended
said that,
them.
yes.
Okay.
They have already recommended these two for the continuation.
Okay. Is there a motion? Jeez, sorry.
I'd move to approve Wes Munns to a 3-year term for the Noxious Weed Board.
And I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve Wes Munns for a 3-year term to the Noxious Weed Board. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We did not specify a term length on Mr. Costo's. Did we?
Yeah, she said 3 years.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
She did. Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, and the Broadwater County Planning Board, and unfortunately Director Brown is not here to discuss this, but I believe these have all been looked at by the Planning Board?
No,
No,
we have not.
because they only have 2 members now, so they don't have a, they don't
Oh,
have a
so we
quorum.
have to
So
do the
we are-
approvals, okay.
which is an
That's right.
unusual
I forgot about
situation.
that. Yes, okay. Let's see.
So I believe we have 2 resignations.
Yes, I was going to start with the 2 resignations.
And then that would leave 3 openings.
Yes. Yep,
And we have 4 or 5
letters.
applications,
Oh,
if you
boy.
will.
Okay. Okay. The first resignation letter is from Deanna Kolodka. Did I say that right? Kolodka?
think
Deanna
so.
Kolodka? Okay. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, Deanna. This letter is to inform you that I am resigning my position on the Broadwater Planning Board effective December 31st, 2024. It has been both a pleasure and honor to serve on this board for the last 3 years. I look forward to a new member and what skills and knowledge they bring to serve our county. So thank you to Deanna. Do we have to do a motion to accept that? We do, okay. Who would like to do a motion?
And I think we can probably combine those.
Do them both,
Combine
okay,
them.
let's do
Yeah.
that, thank you, okay. All right, second letter of resignation. Dear Commissioners, please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the Broadwater County Planning Board. I appreciate having been given the opportunity to be a member of the Broadwater County Planning Board. It was a wonderful experience, and I gained a great deal of knowledge. I feel it is now time for another to have the opportunity to be a member of the board. Best wishes and thank you for the opportunity, Janine Stone. Okay, thank you, Janine, also for helping us out and serving on the board. Is there a motion?
I would move to accept the resignation letters of Deanna Kolodka and Jeanine Stone from the Planning Board.
I will second that motion.
There's been a motion and a second to accept the resignation letters of Deanna Kolodka and Janine Stone from the Planning Board. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. So that leaves us with 3 open positions,
And I think there's 5 letters.
5 letters.
My suggestion, Madam Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
is we could read through the letters and then go back and decide which 3 we select.
How long are the terms that are open?
I believe 3 years.
I believe so, too.
All of them are 3 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't- was Delger's, did he finish his term?
I don't know.
So I don't know what
Oh,
he
no.
had remaining on
So
his.
one would be to finish his
term. And the other 2 were finished their term, so it would be 2 3-year terms and 1, I don't know.
1-year term for Delger, to replace Delger.
Because he's at the beginning, this would be a beginning. He just resigned.
Right.
So yeah, this would be his final
I think he's
year.
been on for 2 years.
Yes, he's been on for 2
As
years.
soon as he was not a commissioner.
Right.
And we can clarify this with Director Brown. I
So-
think that's right.
So we think 2 3 years. in one year. Okay. All right, so I'm going to read all of these letters and try and make notes at the same time. So bear with me while I multitask. Okay. This is from Charles Freshman. Hello, I live in Townsend and would enjoy being a member of the planning board. I'm a licensed professional engineer with over 40 years of experience. The last 30 years, I have worked for the state of Montana, Department of Environmental Quality, Public Water and Subdivision Bureau. I'm very familiar with the state laws and rules governing land development. I have also written numerous environmental documents. Okay, got. Okay. This is from Dwayne. I'm going to say Marr because it's spelled the same as the county. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Howdy. I'd be happy to volunteer for the planning board. I've lived in Broadwater County for 16 years, worked for my present company of CHS for 32 years, been on a few churches' trustee boards, so I'm familiar with volunteering. Not a problem if I'm not a good fit. Thank you, Dwayne Marr. Okay, the next one is from Mary Heineman. I would like to express my intent to serve on the planning board of Broadwater County. I feel my gained knowledge of serving on the board previously makes me a great candidate. Also, I believe the planning board members need to be a diverse group of individuals. My background in land development gives me knowledge of the subdivision process and rules. I also own and run a software company in Townsend and have knowledge from a business perspective. Thank you for your consideration, Mary Heineman. The next letter is from Jeff Cookson. Dear members of the Broadwater County Planning Department, I'm writing to express my interest in serving as a member of the Broadwater County Planning Board. With nearly 20 years' experience as licensed contractor and 26 years of dedicated service as a firefighter, including my role as a retired fire chief, I bring a unique combination of hands-on expertise and leadership that would contribute to the board's mission of guiding the responsible growth and development of our community. Throughout my career in construction, I have gained extensive knowledge of construction, land use, and building codes, all of which are directly relevant to the planning board's work. My ability to navigate complex projects and ensure they meet both client expectations and regulatory requirements has equipped me with a practical understanding of the challenges and opportunities facing developers and property owners. In my fire service career, including my tenure as fire chief, I honed my skills in public safety, strategic planning, and community engagement. My experience underscores the importance of thoughtful planning in ensuring public safety, sustainable growth, and community resilience. As a leader, I fostered collaboration among diverse stakeholders and worked to balance competing interests, a skill I would bring to the board. As someone who cares deeply about the future of Broadwater County, I am committed to maintaining its unique character while supporting balanced growth and development. My professional background, leadership experience, and passion for community service make me an ideal candidate for this role. I would be honored to contribute to the planning board's important work and welcome the opportunity to discuss my qualifications further. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to the possibility of serving our community in this capacity. The last letter is from Shay Counts. Dear members of the County Planning Board, I am writing to express my interest in serving on the Planning Board, Broadwater Planning Board. As a native of Helena, Montana, and as a young professional who recently returned to our community, I am deeply invested in our families and our sustainable growth with a focus on the goals of those who currently reside amongst us. During my time back, I have supported local businesses, including shopping, dining, and donating locally. I've introduced my first local exposure digital video highlighting the Bread and Butter Cafe, while scheduled to provide the same services to Kickstart Nutrition in the Mercantile's former space of business. To be sure I was a good fit to join this board, I read the 2024 Growth Policy Addendum, and my key takeaways include understanding our community loves the tight-knit relationships that have been cultivated over generations and the space that surrounds those bonds. From the complex differences between sub-south and sub-north to the continued protection of grounds, open space, and dark skies, Broadwater County's families' goals are clear. I believe I'm a good fit to sit before this board because I also hold those same values close to my heart. With my experience, I've worked amongst market-leading stakeholders to navigate the complexities of property development and community planning during my time with a team producing over $100 million in sales annually. I'm eager to contribute this knowledge and to help our county make informed decisions that reflect the aspirations and needs of our community. Returning to Montana has strengthened my commitment to fostering a balance between preserving our region's character and promoting opportunities for economic and residential development. By serving on the planning board, I aim to support policies and initiatives that align with the county's long-term vision while addressing the challenges of today. I would be honored to bring my perspective as an engaged community member to the board. Thank you for considering my application. Those are some really good letters. Yeah, honestly. Okay. I'm just digesting all of these, taking them in, sorry. First off, I appreciate the interest from all our public. I think that's great. And the planning board is obviously very important. There's a lot of stuff going on with development locally, and we need people that can consider things, just really think about what's going on, that can follow statute, but understand all the nuance of development and what that means and what's going on in our county. Is there a motion? I'm going to start with the 1-year term to finish out Mike Bilger's term. Is there a motion for that?
I will move to recommend Charles Freshman for a 1-year term on the Broadwater County Planning Board.
I will second that.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second to approve, to recommend Charles Freshman for a 1-year term on the planning board. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And Commissioner Randolph, do you know if Director Brown will be reaching out to?
I'm sure she will, and if not, doing
Okay, thank you.
it may not. It will not be today. Maybe not tomorrow.
No,
but she
that's
will.
fine. Yeah. Okay, let's go 3-year term. Is there a motion?
I would move to appoint Dwayne Marr, I assume that also, to a 3-year term. And I will add, I'm excited to have somebody from Three Forks area on the board. And that's the main reason for my motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to appoint Dwayne Marr for a 3-year term on the planning board. Is there any public comment? Any public comment?
Can we have discussion
Yes,
first?
yep, we're going to discuss too. Yeah,
So
sorry.
out of the remaining ones, he would have been my last pick. I agree. I think having somebody from Three Forks would be very important. But judging by the context of all of the letters, he seems the least qualified, in my opinion.
My question, I was thinking along the same lines as Debbie. Commissioner Randolph. Sorry. Just having a representative from Three Forks would be really good. I don't know that you have to be. There's no requirement to be a development professional.
No, not at all. And I
think.
think. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I think I don't remember one of them said. I think having a diverse group is important, and My issue is the other three all kind of give details on what they're bringing to the board, what their expertise is. I'm not sure what his business of CHS is. I did try to look it up and I wasn't able to find anything concrete. And the only other thing he said was on a few church trustees boards. So I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't bring some knowledge, but the other ones directly kind of correlated knowledge that would pertain to the planning board, which is why.
I think my concern with some of the other letters is, and right, wrong, or indifferent, I think if you're really close to things in our community, is there a conflict of interest there? And maybe the legal representatives can answer that better. If you have people that are actively developing in the community, is there a conflict of interest there on the planning board?
Chairwoman Rickmeyer, I can say, first of all, that the commissioner each has their ability to vote an up or down. You can vote yay or nay on all of these to communicate what is most important to you each as commissioners. That's my legal opinion. And regarding a particular conflict of interest, I think each conflict of interest needs to be examined. If there is one, or if there's not, needs to be examined, but this is not the proper venue to do so, ma'am.
Okay.
And I would just, once again, we try so hard to reach southern end of the county.
Mm-hmm.
To have, I'm not aware of any other board that has anybody from the south end of the county. That might be incorrect. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, I was wrong. Thank you, Director. But certainly the planning board is a big commitment, and with the issues and the growth down there, I feel strongly that it's good to have somebody. And I did look up a couple weeks ago, CHS, and now I cannot remember what it is. I believe it's a chemical company. But do not quote me on that either. I'm probably wrong on that.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is a motion and a second to appoint Dwayne Marr for a 3-year term on the planning board. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, we have one more 3-year term we need to fill. I think I am able to make a motion. I believe so. It's not the normal practice, but I would move to appoint Shay Counts for a 3-year term on the Broadwater County Planning Board.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any comments amongst the board? Discussion?
No, I think she'd be a good fit.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with her letter and her
Yeah, absolutely.
her skills
Mhm.
and her
Agreed.
desire. So,
Okay, is there any public comment? There's a motion and a second to appoint Shay Counts as a member for a 3-year term on the Broadwater County Planning Board. Is there any public comment? No? Public comment? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Thank you all. Okay, we have a couple items for consent agenda, just some claims. We do not have minutes, right? I don't think we have minutes. Okay. That is later at 2 p.m. That's okay. I know it's squished on there. 2 p.m. It's all right. All right. The first claim today is for the amount of $118,521.21. Could
you repeat that number?
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. $118,521.21. $521.21.
I'll move to approve the claim in the amount of $118,521.21.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second for a claim amount of $118,521.21. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, the next claim is for payroll. I'm sorry, sorry, moving too fast. Okay, next claim is for payroll in the amount of $316,547.80.
I would move to approve the payroll claims in the amount of $316,547.80.
I second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve payroll for $316,547.80. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? No public comment. Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Last set of claims is for $18,107.51.
I move to approve claims in the amount of $18,107.51.
I'll second that.
There's been a motion and a second to approve claims for $18,107.51. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. All right. Is there any final comment?
Madam Chairman, thank you for allowing me to speak. Two things. One is, I'd like to correct the record. The public safety budget is not 3.5 million, it's 3.2 million. The second thing I wanted to mention to you is that while we've been in meetings, the Office Management and Budget has issued a third memorandum, so to speak, rescinding the order on January 27th to halt all grants, payments and grants and federal loans. So what we mentioned earlier is not going to go into effect at all.
Okay, thank you.
Great news.
Yeah. Any other announcements?
I don't think so.
Okay, we will adjourn. 11:45.